The charismatic kaka is one of our 3 ancient parrot species and is known for its gossiping and chattering, so I feel quite an affinity with this noisy forest bird. For a while there, its numbers plummeted, but thanks to the hard work of many locals, things are looking up for our inquisitive forest parrot. Michelle, why were the kaka in so much trouble?
Unfortunately, it's due to introduced pests and predators again, just like most of our native birds.
Kaka in particular nest in hollow or rotten logs and trees, and what that means is generally there's just one door, so if a stoat or a rat gets in, there's no escape for chicks inside.
Kaka has a little brush at the end of the tongue for doing just this, collecting the nectar out of the flowers, and so that's another problem that faces the kaka as well. And introduced species of wasp will actually swarm trees and they'll actually keep the kaka away. The nectar is really an important part of their diet, especially during breeding season.
What is Auckland Zoo doing to try and get their numbers back up in the wild?
Auckland Zoo is involved in a release program with North Island kaka. So we have a breeding pair here at the zoo, and their chicks have been released at Kotiro and also at Mount Bruce. And just this year, we've also released last year's chicks down at Mangatautori in the Waikato.
What's one way that people can encourage birds like the kaka to spend time in their gardens?
Definitely by planting native trees and plants in their garden, especially ones that are flowering or fruiting, and that will attract things like tui as well as the kaka. So anything like flax or coprosma that has a nice berry that they enjoy as well. She's actually a hand-raised female, and we've actually used that to our advantage, and she's been trained to fly in our encounter, just so people get to see them up close, and we can also educate on the issues that they have in the wild and things like that. And we also like to give her enrichment that keeps her busy, so we'll actually hide her food or put it into something and she has to work out a way to get it out, so they're really, really smart.
If you're thinking that the kaka looks a bit familiar and you've spent time on ski fields, you'll actually be quite right. The kaka and the kea are cousins, and the kea, of course, are an alpine parrot. They stick to the mountains. The kaka stay in the bush. Kaka are renowned for the noise they make, and in fact, earlier last century, they had to close a school in the Wairarapa because the noise of the kaka in the surrounding forest was drowning out the teachers, so I'm sure the kids were rapt. Having met quite a few kaka now, I would have to say that they are the most inquisitive, gentle and beautiful birds, and I'm looking forward to seeing one in my garden very soon.